Yoo-hoo!
Back-aboard song, and we are getting ready hopefully to install all the boards and stuff that I've been varnishing, but I got some cleanup to do as far as need to get the dust and the bugs and clean up some other stuff that's been hanging around and get those out of here, and then so hopefully I can do that pretty quick. Get some stuff done. Let's do some vacuuming. Well, that sucked. I'm actually feeling pretty good about everything except for this shelf right here. I think I may go ahead and put up this shelf down here. See if I can get this down to where you can see it. And put the screws back in that spot back up there. And maybe this one here at the end of the bed or the berth here. And we'll kind of go from there. I'm debating on because this wiring here needs to go up here, and that goes into the next project, which is the Knapp Center. So I may hold off on putting these last two in, or two pieces of wood in that go on this shelf and up here until I get the wiring done here. But I do have the cushion that goes here. I brought that back out from the shed, so I'm going to put that in, and I think I got to put one right here. I'm going to put this piece in here. Hopefully I can get a decent angle for you to see it, and then we'll have 3 of the 5 installed, so, or 3 of the 4 installed, counting the one in the back too. So we'll try that. Alrighty, so quarter berth is pretty much done. I have the cushion for this side, but I use them mostly as storage, and so amazing amateur video once again. So use it mostly for storage. Like I keep my keep the microwave there and the generator there and some other bins that have miscellaneous tools and that kind of stuff in it. So I'm going to probably for now leave that off for the foreseeable future, because I don't know how comfortable it would be to sleep under there either. So not a whole lot of room. So Hey everybody, sound like Grover on Sesame Street. Hey everybody! Back in the garage, as you can tell, this definitely is a song. It's coming towards the end of the week, and kind of want to try to get this week's video finished up. Got a few things going on. I'm gonna try to do some more varnishing today, which I'm sure everybody's going, oh man, no more varnishing. So anyway, I'm gonna do some more varnishing. Probably not gonna film that because I think you got a pretty good idea what that looks like. Did want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I'm using and some of the people that have been helping me. I am using, like I said before, I got a Sailrite sewing machine over there, and I'm gonna start going through canvas here in a little bit because it's gonna get a little too cold to do too much on sewing. I also wanted to give a shout out to my brother-in-law Mark, who gave me some stainless steel tubing that I'm going to be using on another project a little later. Some of the things I want to talk about is where I'm learning some of the things that I've decided to do on my boat. Like I said, I've owned my boat going on 10 years now. And I just decided that rather than sit there and wish and dream and hope that sometime in the future that, as my smoking hot wife, that sometime in the future I could get a boat and we could go to California or the West Coast and sail up and down the coast and maybe do more cruising than that. I kind of came to the conclusion of, well, I got this Catalina 30. It's not a small boat, not a big one. It's pretty comfortable. So why don't we start outfitting that and we'll go from there. So that's part of why I'm doing it on the Catalina 30. I do hope to eventually upgrade to a bigger boat. Christine and I both want to get a bigger boat that we can do some more sailing with. But where I was learning, where I started was once I got Windsong, started needing to learn how some of these systems work. And although I like to think I'm definitely not a super handyman, I'm not a slouch either. I like to work on things, especially my boat. And there's some things that I'm not very good at, like electrical. To be honest with you, like probably most of you, it scares the bejeebers out of me. But what I started to do was I started getting books, and so I'm a huge fan of Kindle. Part of the reason is I can carry a complete library in a very small amount of space, but that's not always the best option. So the first book I started out with is by Captain Fatty Goodlander. It's called Buy, Refit, Sail. I think that's what it's called. Sorry, Captain Fatty, if I screwed it up. What's it called? It's called, yeah, Buy, Outfit, and Sail. Read that one a while ago and decided that's kind of what we wanted to do. And a lot of what I'm going to do is based on what Captain Fatty does, because he does a lot of stuff on the cheap. And I want to point out that if it's cheap, it doesn't necessarily, I need to make sure that it's not bad quality, because I got to have the good quality there for as inexpensive as possible. So that's what's going on. So I got Captain Fatty on the Kindle. One of the other people that I also do a lot of stuff with is Don Casey. So I think this is my second one of these, and then I've got a Kindle copy also, so I bought 3 of these things. This is pretty good basic. Make you go through, show you how to look through a boat and do all that kind of stuff. As you can see, I've got all kinds of bookmarks and stuff in there on stuff that I'm working on. Really good for some ideas on canvas and stuff, and just kind of little upgrades that you can do. So highly recommend this book. Highly recommend Fatty Goodlander's. Anything he does is pretty good. He's got a new one that just came out. And then this is another one by Don Casey that I'm going to be doing a project out of coming up next year. that just, little improvements and stuff. One of the things I'm going to put on song is they're called faux davits, because I do have a little boat that I've named Sissy because she tags along, that I want to put faux davits on the back of song just to get Sissy up out of the water if I ever needed to. There's enough room to put Sissy up on the foredeck, but that's all there'd be room for. I couldn't get to the anchor locker. I couldn't do a lot of things, so it's not necessarily the best option, especially where I'm not going blue water right now. When I go blue water, on the deck's probably the better spot, but we'll see. The other one, another book that I just got a few weeks ago is by Nigel Calder. And this one is mechanical and electrical manual for boat owners. This one's pretty in depth. So if there's something Don Casey doesn't cover, this one does. And so I'll go look in both of them and learn what I need to learn. As far as mechanical stuff goes, I've done a few things here and there. I've had some friends help me rebuild motors in cars and that kind of stuff. But like I said, I'm no Mr. Goodwrench, but I at least understand how things go together. And so that kind of helps sometimes. I'm teaching myself how to sew, teaching myself a lot of the stuff, especially the electrical, on how to do things. And so sometimes you have to just dive in and go. And that's kind of what I have to do, especially with 535 days to go. Now, wanted to talk a little bit about that number. That number, if I remember correctly, is the 1st of May, 2019. And part of the reason I chose that is there's usually a crane day somewhere around there out at the marina that I would be able to get sung out and hopefully start heading west at that point. I've got a lot of logistic issues that I have to worry about before we get to there, and I don't know exactly when the crane day will be and a few other things. So although I would love to say that that's a hard date that I'm going to be heading west on, it's not. It's a day to shoot for, to have everything ready, and as any of you know that have a boat, there's always going to be more to do. So I'm just managing, trying to get song gone through, get the cabin done really nice. I need to do some stuff on the decks as soon as it gets warm enough and keep going from there. With it being coming up in the middle of November at this point, not a whole lot I can do outside on song, and sometimes it's difficult to do stuff inside on song. So probably going to be doing a lot out here in the garage as far as varnishing and that kind of stuff. So that is kind of what's going on. I'm going to be putting some varnish on here, and I'll save you from that. Give you an idea what we're looking at next week. Hopefully get starting on that Knapp Center on both the wiring, and I need to do some shelves in it that I want to do. Probably be pulling some stuff back out of song and bringing it back out here to the garage to varnish. I'll try to bury as much of that as we can, and because it's just more sanding and varnishing. And if you have any questions, feel free to make a comment down below. Questions, comments, you can keep the rude remarks. And suggestions. I'm open to suggestions. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to like. And happy sails. We hope to see you next week.
Farewell and adieu to you Spanish ladies, farewell and adieu you ladies of Spain, for we've received orders to sail for old England. We hope in a short time to see you again.